Today's video is brought to you by Fiverr, connecting you with the freelancers that you need to help build your brand, including logo designers, special effects artists, website developers, animators, and so much more. So scroll down, click that link in the description, and check out my curated store of my most recent recommendations on top Fiverr sellers. And the video starts now. From the very moment I was born, video has been a huge part of my life. Growing up, my mom could always be seen with a giant VHS recording camcorder on her shoulder, ready to capture everything. Good moments, bad moments, tantrums, Christmas, everything. We've got it captured, and I'm so thankful for this. She was also an avid member of her photography camera club and trucking me around as a baby in a car seat on these photo hikes. And no doubt her love for photography and videography, I suppose, capturing our family moments, played a role in getting me to where I am today. But it wasn't until I got into skateboarding and snowboarding that I really took on photo and video for myself. My friends and I were always borrowing cameras from our parents and recording our stupid snowboard videos, our stupid skate videos. And throughout high school, I was taking photo classes and I was turning my projects for every class into video projects. But it wasn't really until 10 years ago, right now, that I decided I wanted video and photography to be my career, for it to be the one thing I put all my focus into. I wanted video, photo to be my thing. In the fall of 2009, 10 years ago now, my friend Zach and I were living in our camper van, and we were making what we now realize were vlogs. We were documenting our travels, our picking up hitchhikers and eating out of dumpsters. We were making these home movies, mostly to send back home and be like, look, Ma, we're alive. And on that trip, photo wasn't the goal, video wasn't the goal. The goal was to just adventure and explore and figure out what the heck we even liked and what we wanted to do with our lives. On that trip, we made 20 different videos. Some of them were just about a spider or a rotten melon. Some were just about a squirrel. Some of them we talked to camera, but most of them we didn't. Most of them we were just kind of experimenting with video. And in rewatching those videos, what was really cool to me to see was just how much better the last videos we made were than the first videos. We had actually grown unintentionally just because we were doing it. We had grown as, air quote, filmmakers through the practice. The first video starts with a 2-minute sequence of me just trying to choose music on an iPod. It is excruciating. But throughout the videos, you'll notice we start learning, oh, you can kind of edit actions to the beat. You can have faster cuts. There are things you can do to make the videos entertaining, and maybe more likely our moms will actually watch them. The year before this trip, I had dropped out of college and decided that I wasn't gonna pay for school if I didn't know what I wanted to do. And on this trip, I developed this love for videography that I had never really taken seriously. I always thought it was just a fun thing I could do, but I hadn't really considered a path in order to make this a career, in order to build a business. Zach and I got home from this trip late fall, early winter of 2009, and we were both just talking like, how do we keep doing this? How do we make a career out of this? What's the next thing we can film? Shortly thereafter, some of my best friends were in a band called Brighter Brightest, and they were like, hey, come on tour with us. You could make some videos, you could sell merch, whatever, just come on tour with us. So I did coast to coast Canada with them, filming them every night, experimenting with different angles that I could get. How close should I be? How far should I be? Because at this time, I really only knew how to put the camera in auto and record. When I got home, I just had dozens of takes of the exact same song, and I thought, I'm gonna edit this into a multicam live edit. And I did. And it took a long time. But when I had finished it, I had made what at that point was my best edit ever. In this whole process of traveling, making videos for myself and for this band, we were uploading all the videos to Vimeo. And on Vimeo, I had stumbled across a video that Philip Bloom had posted. I think it was called San Francisco People, something like that, where he was testing out the new Canon 7D. And I saw this footage and it blew me away because I didn't know it was possible to be like a regular human who shoots video and have it look awesome. It looked like a Hollywood movie. And from that moment on, I was like, I have to have this. I need my own DSLR. And that was now, 10 years ago exactly now. Christmas break, I was working at Boathouse, selling people Hurley t-shirts and whatever. And when no customers are around, I would talk to this other girl I worked with who was a photographer, and I was like, I gotta get this camera. I have to get this camera. So I spent that winter working 2 jobs. I sold my skate video camera and I saved up. I ended up borrowing a little bit of money from my parents and I bought the Canon 7D from Peter McKinnon, actually. He worked at the camera store. He sold me the camera. In fact, he was probably annoyed because Zach and I were going in like every day, like, let me touch it. Tell me what to buy. What else do I need? Do I need camera bags, memory cards, filters? We were these just like rabid animals. And at that point, I think he was like, buy the camera or get out of here. And I did. I bought a 7D. Zach bought the T2i, which came out shortly thereafter. And we started making videos together. But over that winter, something happened, which is we didn't know what the heck to shoot. We had no clue. Our experience making videos was like, we're traveling, we're picking up hitchhikers, cool things are happening. There was no shortage of content to film. Then we got home, we had this apartment together, and it was like, now what? We don't write scripts, we didn't have an idea for a story or a documentary or anything like that. And then Zach's sister was getting married in Mexico, so he flew out, he took our cameras, and shot the wedding. When he got home, he had put a little edit together, and some friends of ours saw it, and they were like, hey, you guys, you have cameras, will you shoot our sister's wedding? And that summer, 3 Saturdays in a row, we shot the wedding of a friend's sister. And it was like we had an aha moment, which was that this is what we can do. We can make awesome cinematic footage at weddings where cool things are happening, and we just have to capture it and tell that story in the edit. And so slowly, year after year, we built this business called Driftwood. That's where the name comes from. Actually, it was called Reel to Reel, but that's another story. Became Driftwood. And every year we were doing a few more weddings, and we were constantly just reinvesting the money we made doing those weddings back into the business, back into new gear, back into learning. We took workshops, we bought online courses, all sorts of things, because we felt that what we saw of the wedding industry was so far behind quality-wise what we felt we were able to produce with these cameras. And we thought pretty soon people are gonna notice and we're gonna have more inquiries than we know what to do with. We're gonna be flooded with work. So many weddings. But it never really happened. And it never happened not because we weren't talented enough or the work wasn't good enough, but the truth is we were pretty terrible business runners, entrepreneurs. We didn't know how to run a business, and yet we wanted to do everything ourselves. We didn't do our taxes for the first 5 years. We just avoided them. We pretended they weren't real. And truthfully, this is the main reason I don't do more teaching surrounding things like business and how to grow your brand on YouTube and on Instagram. It's because it's not what I'm good at. My passion and my skill set has never been running a business, growing a business. I think I'm a relatively competent filmmaker, a pretty okay photographer, and I think I've always been, good with people, like talking and interacting with people. But the business part is just like, whew. For about 7 or 8 years, the wedding business was our bread and butter. We were growing a little bit, also doing some commercial work, some corporate work on the side, but we both felt like things were getting stagnant, like we had stopped growing and kind of stopped caring, if that makes sense. We didn't have that same passion for filmmaking that we did when we first saw DSLR footage. Ultimately, it was this sort of complacency and this boredom with the wedding world that had me starting to make Instagram stories and YouTube videos and all these sorts of things to kind of reignite that flame for filmmaking inside of me. The truth is that running a business, I wanted to do everything myself. We wanted to do everything ourselves. We never wanted to contract out editors or shooters. We wanted to have full control. And ultimately, it led to us both burning out. It led to us not running a good business. It led to us not serving our clients nearly as well as they deserved to be served. Deserved to be served? And looking back on that period of time, I wish we had outsourced things. I wish we had looked for an accountant sooner. I wish we had started training editors sooner. I wish we had seeked out a business mentor, somebody that had been through what we were about to go through and could help us avoid some of those mistakes. And over these last 10 years of trying to build a business out of all this, I only feel like the last year I finally felt like I think I'm starting to understand a little bit what I'm doing. I think I'm finally starting to feel what my style is and what the kind of videos I want to make are. So if you're just starting out and you're like, I want to be huge, I want to be amazing, I want to be the best. Awesome. You know, don't lose that focus, that goal, but understand it's probably going to take time. And you might shift gears along the way. You may find a new passion for hiking or for stop motion. I just say be patient and take it one step at a time, and don't be afraid to reach out to people for help. Don't be afraid to outsource the things that you're just not good at, because your clients deserve better. My clients definitely deserved better. So looking back over these last 10 years where I started just making videos about spiders and rotten melons, transitioning into a world where I had to be very serious and cinematic, I think the coolest thing is that I finally built a business where I can just have fun and just make the videos I want to make. I guess I'm really thankful. So if you're watching this video here today, thank you so much. Looking at my statistics, most of the people that watch my videos are not subscribed. I would appreciate if you did subscribe because, well, you know, why not? Happy New Year, and I can't wait to see what you guys do in the next decade. You are so great. I love you. There's an ad at the end. Fiverr is empowering creatives by connecting us with a massive network of freelancers all over the world to help us build our brands. They've got logo designers and website developers. They have voiceover talent, copywriters, and just an insane amount of creatives in every field to help you grow. So don't make the same mistakes that I made early on in my career trying to do everything myself. Click the link down in the description, collaborate with some freelancers that can actually help you create awesome work and serve your clients better. Grow your brand smarter. So what are you waiting for? Go down and click that link in the description to check out my curated store for my most recent recommendations on top Fiverr sellers. Right now, because, well, I mean, when else would you do it? Now's the time to do it. Do it right now.
There he is at the front of the boat.